am the judge. Dread may be the law, but I am the judge. And today we're passing judgment on a cooking recipe. How to make judge pops. As you can see, we have all of our ingredients here. And... Wait, getting a signal. Command control. Really? Judge LaBelle, you say? Alright, I'll follow through. Well, as it turns out, according to Judge LaBelle, who just paged me, there's actually a new Prog out for the Cursed Edge fan film. So, we're going to postpone this until another time and check out the latest Prog of Cursed Edge. So we start off with Judge Hollister again. She's gone back to talk to Dirty Frank in the Pleasure District. There's no actual explanation why she's wearing this unusual outfit and has the makeup on. I guess we can assume that she was on some kind of assignment like in the first Prog where she had the blue hair. Now she's had to cut away from whatever that mission was and talk to Frank. But it wasn't actually established anywhere in the show. Regardless, Frank has got a lead for her to follow as to where that red powder that goes to make the new drug that's appearing on the market. He's got a lead for her, and she's going to follow up on it. Meanwhile, back at the Hall of Justice, Judge LaBelle, who I say contacted me, is beginning to do some further investigations and report back to his Brexit superiors.
Good morning, sir. You wanted to talk to me?
Yes, Judge, good afternoon. You've been promoted to Senior Investigating Judge. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir. I'm very honoured to have you.
Truth is, they're woefully...
So Judge LaBelle is now promoted to Senior Investigating Judge. Well done, but you have to take off the helmet. I mean, that's the first step to ending a career prematurely. So now we have, unfortunately, a little bit of a recap of the last three Progs. LaBelle runs through here's Keith Gorgon and various other members of the cast that we've already seen. It's good, especially if you haven't watched the previous three, but I do find it's just that little bit lengthy. Regardless, it kind of ruins the flow of the story, but I guess if you haven't really followed up, or since it's been quite a few months since the previous three Progs, it's a good idea to have a refresher, I suppose. This is significant. LaBelle recognizes Drix and decides to go and interrogate him.
I have a word.
I do like this bit. Never before in Dread lore have we actually ever seen the ISO cubes depicted on screen. Oliver Hollingdale has done so. Very appreciated.
Fuck you. I told the Dolly Bird, and I'm telling you the same thing.
Judge LaBelle has come to talk to Drix, as I mentioned, and you may recall in my previous reviews for Progs 1 to 3, I was a little harsh on the acting that this production has had, and, you know, I still stand by it, but you gotta understand, these are lower budget films, so the kind of caliber of acting you're gonna get may not be straight out of Hollywood. I will say, though, the sequence here between LaBelle and Drix is actually quite a step up. It's really well performed, and it does show a great promise of what might lie ahead.
Cut the crap accent.
Shall we have a little chat? Maybe talk about getting you extradited back to Brexit.
You can do that.
Turns out that Drix is actually from Brexit, and he's been putting on an accent this whole time. Judge LaBelle recognizes him from some previous crimes that he's committed. Anyway, apparently from this sequence, Drix knows Geek Gorgon, that fella that shot down the probe, and who's actually the main reason that Judge LaBelle has come to Mega City 1. So he gives him some leads and indicates to go and check out down at the docks.
Let's not just leave it at a nod.
What did the little rat say?
This all starts to make some sort of sense. Now, Drix tells me the spotted Geek Gorgon down on the docks.
Right, okay. I'm going to attach myself to the case. You're going to need backup.
Okay, we need to leave now.
So now Judge LaBelle has joined up with Judge Hollister to go down to the docks and find this, not only Geek Gorgon, but the source of that powder. Now, I got a complaint to make at this stage. We're then seeing Judge Hollister getting ready to assist Judge LaBelle, and she puts on this black leather gear and some sunglasses. I don't know exactly what purpose they serve. But regardless, my issue is, why is Judge Hollister in kind of a sexy cat suit? It doesn't really make any sense, especially when you consider this is set in the same kind of dread world that the Carl Urban film was made in. And in that film, we had Olivia Thirlby as Judge Anderson wearing armor. It doesn't really make any sense from a plot point of view. It looks like it's just pandering to teenage boys who might be watching the film. I get that. I'm not complaining. I mean, the actress playing Yvonne Hollister is a very lovely lady, so of course, sure. Why not? But I think it completely detracts from the kind of film we've been watching up to this point. And especially when you consider what Judge Anderson looked like in the Dread 3D film, why do we have to be subjected to this? I really have a problem with this. However, let's get on to the positives. They hop on a couple of bikes and head down to the docks. And the bike sequence, it looks really good. I wish it had been a bit longer. Continuing with the positives, do you remember when I reviewed Prog 3, I was saying that the dock area just looks like it was filmed down at some docks. There's no city in the background, or very few shots of it, and it doesn't look like a lot of effort was put in there. Totally props to Oliver Hollingdale. He's inserted this bunch of skyscrapers and megastructures in the distance here. So at least we've got a little more polish being put on the dock sequence. Very happy about that. Judge LaBelle and Judge Hollister have now located that boat that the shipment was coming in at Prog 3, and they proceed to take out the perps. It's kind of toward the end of the episode here, and unfortunately I have some major criticisms. First of all, there's Judge Hollister in her outfit. Again, I can kind of see why. I don't really understand it, though. This is unbecoming of a judge. And that leads me to my second point. She's killing all of these perps without them being aware of her existence or drawing a weapon on her or anything. She's just going through and stabbing them all. She even used a sniper rifle to take out the scout at the beginning of the sequence. These are not the kind of methods that street judges are known for. Might as well just be another criminal. I do like the fact that LaBelle here uses a smoke bomb. Now that's the proper way to do it. You'd like them to all retreat out of the environment. Unfortunately, in typical perp fashion, they decide not to leave, but to pull out their weapons. Now at this point, yeah, bring down the hammer of the law. And they do.
We're too late. Geek Gorgon's gone.
But there's supposed to be a whole shipment.
It must have been transported already.
So this is sort of how the prog ends. Now, it's a little bit sudden, but obviously Geek Gorgon has left and he's taking a powder with him. And this big fella decides to move in and take him on with his fists. It's a little bit of an action ending to the sequence. It's pretty well handled, though. I think as far as a fisticuff fight sequence goes, Oliver Hollingdale's done a good job here. It's just the only downside is it's very suddenly the end of the prog, and we get a little credit roll, or not credit roll, but a thing that says what's coming up in prog number 5. So that's a little bit sudden and jarring, but I guess it is what it is. See, there we go, next time on The Cursed Edge. So what's my final verdict on The Cursed Edge, prog number 4? Well, I'm afraid, much like the previous progs, it's just going to get a pass. There are a lot of positives now. I mean, I like the layer of polish that Oliver Hollingdale's put on the city, especially around those dock sequences. I like the motorcycle bit, and I really like the acting. I think Judge LaBelle has definitely taken it up a notch, especially, and as well with Drix. That sequence, very well done. my salute to Judge LaBelle, if you're watching. On the negatives, though, I really have a problem with, first of all, just thematically how we've just suddenly abruptly come to an end of the episode. That in and of itself is something that could have been fixed. Secondly, really have a problem with Judge Hollister walking around in the sexy cat suit. Again, I know that a lot of the audience for this show is going to be teenage boys, so maybe you feel a need to reach out to that audience, Mr. Hollingdale, but Olivia Thirlby was able to do it just fine in armor in the Dredd 3D movie. And I think it should have been maintained that kind of outfit, costume sensibility. However, finally, I really have a problem with the way that Judge Hollister is going around stabbing all the perps at the boat sequence at the end of the show. That's completely uncalled for in a street judge. Still, I did receive a notification from Oliver Hollingdale. He said that they're actually going to be recutting all of these progs once they're complete into, I guess, a 2-hour length feature. And maybe as part of that, they'll make a few tweaks here, adjust some of the effects there. I really look forward to it. And although I myself may only be giving these marks a pass, I think it's a great production. I mean, the level of detail, the costumes, I think they've really done a lot, especially since it's primarily just a fan film. So, hats off, helmets off to the whole cast and crew. And I do look forward to Prog number 5. I didn't show any of the scenes that are coming soon, but I do think it looks like it's got a lot of exciting possibilities. So once again, unfortunately, it's a pass. Until next time, stay out of trouble.